Tonight on CBC Vancouver News.
We can't bring him back. There's nothing we can do in that regard, but even if these people lose their jobs, then that's something.
A public hearing begins into how Vancouver police officers acted in the death of Myles Gray more than a decade ago. Plus,
if we don't get customers, we don't have revenue, we can't do anything.
Businesses in downtown Abbotsford try to hang on amid construction delays.
The impact that this has on smaller businesses, it can't be understated.
It's going to be short-term pain, but long-term gain.
And
it's like being in a movie.
Metro Fogcouver, the beauty and challenges of the mist that has socked in parts of the south coast.
On the water, it's eerie, it's disorienting, and it can be unforgiving.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, I'm Dan Burritt. Thanks for joining us. More than 10 years after he died, a public hearing has now begun into the police-involved death of Myles Gray. An adjudicator will determine whether 7 Vancouver police officers used unnecessary force during a conflict in 2015. This is the latest in a series of inquiries into Gray's death. And as John Hernandez explains, so far, none have led to criminal charges.
It was a crowded room for day one of the Myles Gray hearing, filled with Gray's family, a dozen lawyers, and 5 of the 7 officers involved in his death. All of them, either directly or through their lawyers, deny allegations they abused their authority by intentionally or recklessly using unnecessary force. On August 13, 2015, Myles Gray, a Seashelt resident, was in Metro Vancouver for work, delivering flowers to wholesalers. Witnesses allege they saw him in a residential neighborhood in South Vancouver, acting erratically, and sprayed a woman with a hose. Police were called. Gray, who lived with bipolar disorder, died of cardiac arrest after a conflict with officers. His injuries included widespread bruising, a fractured eye socket, and ruptured testicles. No charges have been laid in his death. Gray's mother, Margaret, was the first witness called. She listened back to a 911 call she made the day her son died when she reported him missing. It played on speakers in front of the whole room.
It was awful because I just felt for my mom, because in that moment, my mom had no idea that my brother was dead.
Adjudicator Elizabeth Arnold Bailey says the goal of the hearing is to restore public confidence and prevent similar deaths in the future. Meanwhile, the lawyer of the Gray family says there's a small chance charges could be reconsidered.
I think that it is technically possible for the matter to be referred back to Crown Counsel after a public hearing. That is available. I can't remember that happening.
We can't bring him back. There's nothing we can do in that regard, but even if these people lose their jobs, then that's something.
The hearing is expected to last 10 weeks, involving dozens of witnesses. The adjudicator will also decide whether 6 of the 7 officers neglected their duties by not taking notes after Gray died. John Hernandez, CBC News, Vancouver.
Police in Surrey are investigating another shooting they believe to be related to the ongoing extortion crisis. Investigators say this one happened overnight at a business in East Cloverdale. Officers were called to the area just after 8 a.m. by the owner, who noticed bullet holes high up on some glass. In another case over the weekend, an extortion shooting victim allegedly used a gun to fire back at a suspect.
In the case of Saturday's incident, Surrey Police Service are now investigating the potential actions of individuals associated to the target residence for careless use of a firearm. In the worst case scenario, you may think you're defending yourself, but you may end up killing someone who's innocent.
Police have investigated 34 reports of extortion threats so far and 7 reports of shots fired. Business owners in downtown Abbotsford say they are trying to hold on amid a delayed construction project. They say the ongoing disruption means fewer customers and rising bills. As Q Junos reports, the public plaza was supposed to be done before the new year.
Shop owners in downtown Abbotsford say they're losing business because of delayed construction on a public plaza that's been in the works since the summer.
We're down about 40 to 45% when it comes to our sales on that end, and we're seeing a similar result from our friends and our subtenant here at Smoke to Snack.
While his store is still accessible, Sean Weatherly with Angry Otter Liquor says fewer people have been coming into the parking lot because of traffic changes around West Railway and Montview as construction rolls on for the 8th month. These changes to traffic, he says, make a big difference on people's shopping habits.
We're a larger business like Angry Otter, we're able to weather these storms, but the impact that this has on smaller businesses, it can't be understated.
At the Night Owl Kitchen and Bar, the main entrance is behind a fence on a gravel sidewalk. It opened in the fall, and owner Gurminder Gahir put major upgrades into this bar, but there's often little to no one here to enjoy it.
I have to pay so many bills. Even my rent is getting behind. I'm trying to keep up with everything, but it's getting hard because if we don't get customers, we don't have revenue, we can't do anything.
He says he expects his business to survive until the spring, which is when the city of Abbotsford says the project will be done.
We were hoping to have it done before the end of 2025, and now it's going to be sometime early March.
Mayor Ross Seaman says work was delayed because of supply chain issues and extreme rainfall in the region.
I mean, it's going to be short-term pain, but long-term gain. I think the positive outcomes are going to be, the upside of this is going to be very positive for the downtown.
Shop owners hoping for no more delays and a speedy return to regular business. Kirju Knows, CBC News, Abbotsford.
Childcare operators and advocates worry the BC government's funding overhaul of the $10 a day childcare system could shrink the number of families who benefit. But as Katie DeRosa explains, provincial ministers say they're looking into whether the program is leaving some people behind.
This East Vancouver daycare has been offering $10 a day childcare since the NDP government launched the program in 2018.
Honestly, it was transformational for families.
But the province is rolling out a new funding model, and the centre's executive director says it could push them out of the program altogether.
They are going to be cutting back on the amount of funding they provide providers like Kawasa Neighborhood House. That the biggest impact is going to be on staffing.
He says it could mean cuts to wages and benefits or fewer staff per classroom. BC's Education and Childcare Minister says she hears the concerns about the new funding model, but her ministry has to ensure the $10 a day program is not leaving families behind.
But we are seeing structural inequities in the program.
Unlike the childcare subsidy available to lower and middle income British Columbians, the $10 a day program works like a lottery system, available to anyone regardless of income. That's led to complaints from some critics that wealthier families are benefiting.
Is it really benefiting the families who need it most?
About half of the province's $2 billion a year in childcare spending comes from Ottawa. Premier David Eby says the federal government will be soon making a significant decision on the future of the $10 a day program.
Provinces are engaging with the feds about the sustainability of the program, what it looks like, how we can achieve the goal of $10 a day, and if that is not the federal government's intent, what the program looks like going forward.
Eby was responding to a letter from nearly 24 female leaders, including the former NDP childcare minister, accusing him of walking away from the promise of universal affordable childcare and planning a return to what they called a failed market-based, income-tested approach.
Progress on $10 a day childcare system building has stalled under Premier Eby.
Eby insists he's committed to affordable childcare, but notes both the province and the federal government are feeling the financial strain. Katie DeRosa, CBC News, Victoria.
Student union representatives, meanwhile, from across BC descended on Surrey, voicing concerns about the province's plans to review funding for post-secondary schools.
This review is dangerous. It threatens the accessibility, stability, and quality of BC's public post-secondary education system.
The review was first announced in November following the federal government cap on international student visas in 2024. Advocates say the province's 4-month review timeline doesn't allow for meaningful consultation with stakeholders. The recommendations are set to be delivered in March. BC's Minister of Post-Secondary Education says the government is looking for long-term sustainability across institutions. Officials in northeastern BC are trying to figure out what to do next after a massive fire destroyed a First Nations community school. It was a gathering place for decades. As Tom Summer shows us, officials say a lack of access to water to fight that fire was part of the problem.
Little is left of the school, with twisted and charred metal laying in several piles, mixed into snow and ash. For more than 30 years, the community school was used as a gathering space, hosting education, funerals, cultural events, and more. Flames were reported early Saturday morning. Police and firefighters attended the scene to find the building fully engulfed. No injuries have been reported, but the building itself is lost. In a statement, Blueberry River First Nation said they can't speculate on the cause, but called the fire a tremendous loss for the community. The nation also says their water reservoir capacity was insufficient to extinguish the fire. Located roughly 80 kilometers northwest of Fort St. John, BC, Blueberry River has no firefighting agreements with the city or the neighboring Peace River Regional District. This is due to the distance. The Indigenous community also lies outside of the Peace River Regional District fire protection zones. Again, because the distance means service levels could not be guaranteed. The First Nation says they'll be rebuilding as soon as possible. Tom Summer, CBC News, Fort St. John.
BC's south coast is no stranger to cloudy skies. But instead of the endless gray, many communities have been socked in by swaths of thick fog. As Yasmin Khanea shows us, the natural phenomenon brings beauty and challenges.
It rolled into downtown right before daybreak.
It's like a completely new kind of visual that's just incredible. It's like being in a movie.
A dense fog blanketing parts of Metro Vancouver and Vancouver Island, reducing visibility, but also inspiring people to take plenty of photos.
It was just shooting the most incredible light. It was almost like a dream state, you know what I mean? And everyone's out taking pictures and we're all talking about it.
Environment Canada has issued a yellow advisory, warning the fog could last until Tuesday.
We do have a ridge of high pressure in place that's settled all over the south coast, and that's bringing us mainly calm conditions and trapping a lot of the moisture close to the lower surface.
That calm also causing delays at several BC airports. Officials at the Comox Valley Airport say at least 10 flights were cancelled over the weekend because of the fog. YVR, meanwhile, had 5 flights diverted Sunday, and more could still be affected.
We really are working with NAV Canada and the airlines to make sure that we're operating to the conditions we're seeing at YVR. That means that we are seeing some impacts to flight schedules.
The reduced visibility also posed a challenge for rescuers trying to retrieve a disoriented sailor from the waters off Bowen Island.
And the fog can look beautiful from shore, the big wall of fog, and it's quite romantic. But on the water, it's eerie, it's disorienting, and it can be unforgiving. So with zero visibility, it changes everything.
He says it took nearly an hour just to reach the sailor.
But we still had to take a minute to check ourselves, make sure our own foghorn was on and we're all safe.
And while dense fog is blanketing many communities at lower elevations, up in the mountains, a different story. Clear skies and warm temperatures.
Like the clouds, the city just poking out, and it really just helps you to appreciate the beautiful city that we live in.
Environment Canada says the fog will burn off inland throughout the day, but will redevelop for the next few nights. Yasmin Khanea, CBC News, Vancouver.
Darius Madavi in the mist with the first look at the weather. It is beautiful, but as we see, it's challenging out there. You got to be careful.
Absolutely, and I've been falling asleep and waking up to the sound of foghorns, which I know is very annoying for some people, but I love it. They're so low. It's so nice. I love it.
Nice.
That's all. Okay, let's turn to the fog. This is earlier today. This is overnight into this morning, and you can see very clearly that fog building in over the strait, and you can see why it's so dense and really just over the water last night. I mean, we saw some lighter fog inland, but clearing out much faster, but very persistent through the weekend and into today, closer to the water. When I've been in Kits the last few days, been unable to see North Vancouver from the shore, and it's really, really something. That high pressure that's been causing this continues to sit over BC, but that ridge will continue to weaken over the next few days, and so that means we'll start to see more mixing, more sunshine, but also more cloud building in. But our first chance of precipitation still isn't really until the weekend. We'll talk more about that later in the show. Temperatures generally on the south coast stay pretty consistent, maybe falling a little bit over the next couple days. That inversion will weaken, so those high teens temperatures that we've been seeing up in the mountains going to continue to break. And last of all, I'm going to give you a little tease for later in the show. We're going to talk Northern Lights, Dan, as we see this sunspot.
Sunspots.
A massive solar flare.
Ooh.
Good chance to see the aurora borealis.
We await more information. Thank you.
Thank you.
The FIFA Men's World Cup is landing in Vancouver and Toronto this summer, and with that unexpected influx of tourists, healthcare workers are bracing themselves as well. That story's next. Canadian soccer fans are preparing for men's World Cup matches here in Vancouver and Toronto this summer. And they're not alone. Healthcare workers are getting ready to deal with medical issues that might arise when those cities see a massive influx of visitors. More now from Jennifer LaGrassa.
The countdown is on to the FIFA World Cup in Canada, but now a warning about what the influx of fans could mean for emergency rooms.
We are constantly running our healthcare system at 100% capacity, and I would be concerned going forward about having a surge in need for hospital resources.
In June, hundreds of thousands of people are expected to travel to Toronto and Vancouver for the Games. That was top of mind for Dr. Catherine Varner while on shift during the Blue Jays World Series run last fall.
We had one ICU bed available.
Now, in a Canadian Medical Association journal editorial, Varner points to years of research showing that large gatherings can take a toll on the healthcare system.
This is a setup for the spread of contagious or infectious diseases.
COVID-19, measles, food and waterborne illnesses like hepatitis A are among the risks from the FIFA Games flagged by Public Health Ontario.
Measles is so contagious. It will spread potentially like wildfire.
In Vancouver, after the 2010 Olympics, new measles strains led to an outbreak of 82 cases, 3 months following the event.
Getting people all together in a stadium or in a bar or in any setting, if one person has the measles, everyone will be exposed within 30 minutes. And there are lower vaccination rates in many other countries, and there will be representation from these very countries during FIFA.
And with the World Cup games this year running into July, health officials also worry about wildfires, knowing that smoke or heat warnings can send people to hospital. Vancouver's FIFA public health lead says he's confident the city can manage.
The health system does respond to issues like this with some regularity and does have mechanisms in place.
I think the challenge is execution of those plans.
For Varner, she says the system will adapt in a crisis, but she worries that it could come at the cost of quality care. Jennifer LaGrassa, CBC News, Toronto.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is moving cautiously on how Canada ought to respond to Donald Trump's latest threats about putting tariffs on European countries if they get in the way of his goal to control Greenland. Carney is now in Europe for the World Economic Forum, a global event the U.S. president will be attending as well. The CBC's Ashley Burke is traveling with the Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister has touched down here in Switzerland. This is Mark Carney's third and final stop on a trip that's taken him around the world, from China to Qatar and now to the Swiss resort town of Davos, to try and deepen ties with countries outside of the U.S. But as Carney tries to distance Canada from its southern neighbor, he could run into Donald Trump while he's here. They are both expected to speak at the World Economic Forum. This gathering of political and business leaders falls just days after the U.S. president threatened European allies with tariffs if they resist his desire to take over Greenland. Yesterday, Carney told us, journalists traveling with him, that he's concerned about this escalation. And Canadian officials tell CBC News that the Prime Minister is weighing a contingency plan to send a small group of troops to Greenland to take part in sovereignty exercises that the Danes are planning. Now, tomorrow, the Prime Minister is expected to meet with Emmanuel Macron, the President of France, a country currently facing Trump's tariff threats after it sent some troops to Greenland. So far, we are told that there is no official meeting between Trump and Carney scheduled, but Carney says that if he runs into the president, he'll tell him his view that the future of Greenland is up to Greenland and Denmark to decide. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Corton.
After a morning of thick fog, the sky started to clear a bit in Port Alberni, but that mist is expected to return, and not just on the island. Darius Madalvi will have your BC-wide weather forecast coming up.
This is Vancouver is a new CBC podcast where we explore the issues, the stories, and the people that make this place home. Listen to This is Vancouver wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, it has been a welcome sight on the south coast, sun blanketing the region. But this, of course, is after we endured a lot of dark, rainy days this winter, as per usual, which means we might not be getting enough sun or its essential byproduct, vitamin D. So to give Canadians a boost of that, Health Canada is now requiring milk and margarine producers to more than double the amount they put in their products. For more on this, we're joined by our CBC medical columnist, Dr. Melissa Lem. Nice to see you again. Why is Canada doing this?
Well, the reason is there's a huge prevalence of vitamin D deficiency in the Canadian population. About 1/3 of Canadian adults have insufficient vitamin D. And in the winter months, that increases to about 40%. And vitamin D, it's a really unique vitamin. It's the only one that we can generate on our own. But again, we don't get enough in our food supply right now, so the levels were increased. And there are all kinds of, unfortunately, health harms that can happen if you don't have enough vitamin D in your diet.
Before we get to the harms, what does vitamin D do for our health, positive-wise?
Well, a lot of us know how it improves our bone health. You need vitamin D in order to absorb calcium and build healthy bones and teeth, but it has other functions. It can support your immune system function, reduce your risk of autoimmune diseases like multiple sclerosis and rheumatoid arthritis. It improves your muscle and your nerve health, and there are other functions too, like it can actually, in some studies, show to improve your hair density. So there are lots of different benefits from vitamin D. You don't want to be deficient in it.
So when somebody is thinking, or they're being told by a doctor, you got to take some more vitamin D, how much should they take? And is there a risk of taking too much?
Yes, well, I routinely recommend to my patients, particularly in the winter months, that they take a supplement of at least 1,000 international units per day if they're an adult. The general recommendation from Health Canada is at least 600 to 800 international units, and it varies depending on you. So if you're older, you tend to generate vitamin D not as well. If you have a deeper skin tone, it's also harder. And also, if, say, you live in an area with more air pollution that's not allowing as much sun to get through to your skin, you're not generating as much. So there are all kinds of factors that determine whether or not we need to supplement more or less.
When somebody gets if they buy a bottle of vitamin D pills, when you say international units, how many of those either little tablets or I think dissolvable pills should they take then? How much? What's the recommendation there?
The average supplement, usually it's about 800 international units or 1,000 international units. You don't want to go over 4,000 international units per day. So you asked about what happens if you take too much.
Yeah.
You can absolutely have too much of a good thing. So what happens is your calcium levels will go up if you're vitamin D toxic, and that can cause kidney stones, kidney failure, nausea, vomiting, and confusion. So definitely something you don't want to be taking too much of. The interesting thing is, though, that the vitamin D we get from the sun, you can't overdose on that. There's no such thing as that. Your body actually controls the amount you generate. But you don't want to supplement too much from your food, otherwise you can go over.
Right, and you probably don't want to be in the sun too much in case you get a sunburn if you're not well protected, right?
That's correct. So a lot of dermatologists actually recommend we don't go out in the sun to get our vitamin D intentionally, that you actually get it from food and supplements to reduce your risk of skin cancer.
And does it have to be sunny out, or would we get any vitamin D if it's just a cloudy day or even a rainy day?
If it's light outside at all, you will be generating some vitamin D, but not enough. So that's why we have those recommendations for at least 600 to 800 international units per day, because there are a lot of cloudy days here on the West Coast that we have to worry about.
No kidding. Dr. Melissa Lem, we appreciate your time and your expertise as always. Welcome to 2026.
Thanks, Dan. You too.
Donald Trump is ratcheting up the pressure on the international community to let him take over Greenland. But European leaders are not rolling over. Now, along with sending small contingents of troops to the Danish-owned island, they're calling for an emergency summit for later this week about the U.S. president's plan. That as they ponder whether Trump's aggression is linked to a certain peace prize. More now from Chris Brown.
More Danish boots on the ground arrived in Greenland, with Europe in full emergency mode over Donald Trump's threats to take over the island. A new text conversation is fueling the sense that his Greenland obsession may really be about sour grapes. Norway's Prime Minister texted in part to Trump, "We believe we all should work to take this down and de-escalate." Trump replied, "Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace."
Donald Trump, to a very
In fact, it's not Norway's government that hands out the prize.
I think that the particular choice of words certainly relates to the fact that he's sort of a hissy fit about not getting the prize.
Despite the text being released and confirmed by Norway's government, Trump's Treasury Secretary was dismissive.
complete canard that the president will be doing this because of a Nobel Prize.
Trump has said the U.S. needs title to Greenland, which is an autonomous territory of Denmark, to stop Russia or China from getting it. He's vowed to hit 8 European NATO nations who recently sent troops to Greenland with tariffs starting next month until he gets what he wants. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz underscored Europe has options for retaliation, with tariffs of its own or restrictions on U.S. businesses, as other leaders signaled a kind of reluctant resolve.
We are living in 2026. You can trade with people, but you don't trade people.
The right way to approach an issue of this seriousness is through calm discussion between allies.
Greenland not for sale! Trump's threats have generated strong anti-U.S. sentiments in Europe. At this NBA game in London Sunday night, a heckler's call out to leave Greenland alone got a rousing ovation. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
Investigators are looking into possible causes behind Sunday's collision of 2 trains in southern Spain. At least 40 people were killed in that crash and more than 120 injured. Briar Stewart has more on the accident and the aftermath.
Throughout the night, rescue crews worked to reach victims trapped in mangled rail cars. Spain's deadliest train accident in more than a decade violently unfolded on a remote stretch of tracks more than 300 kilometers south of Madrid. The impact was like a sudden blow, said Montse Ruiz. I was sitting in the last seats of the carriage and I was thrown around. Just before 8 p.m., 3 carriages on a train bound for the capital derailed toward the opposite side of the track. Within 20 seconds, a train heading southbound collided with the cars. Its front 2 carriages fell down a 3.5-meter embankment. At least 40 were killed and dozens more are in hospital. This woman, who only gave her first name Anna, was pulled out of the train by other passengers who broke through the windows. Some were fine and others were really bad. You could see them dying and you could do nothing. The government has vowed a thorough and transparent investigation. Unlike another deadly crash in Spain in 2013, when 80 people were killed after a speeding train derailed on a curve, the trains in this case were going under the speed limit. Officials say the crash happened on a stretch of high-speed track that was renovated in 2025. The country's transportation minister called the accident extremely strange.
It's an unusual derailment because derailments don't often happen on a straight track.
This rail safety expert says these types of accidents are very rare.
In a Western European country where the rail systems are very well developed, it is a shock, to be honest.
Spain has Europe's largest network of high-speed rail lines. And last year, the union representing Spanish train drivers had warned regulators that the rail infrastructure was deteriorating because of increased traffic. Briar Stewart, CBC News, London.
An epidemic of illegal ships are being used to smuggle sanctioned oil around the world. Eli Glasner breaks down how this so-called ghost ship fleet operates and the risk it poses.
It's the 6th tanker to be seized. The U.S. says it's targeting what's being called Venezuela's shadow fleet.
The U.S. seized another oil tanker. You can see the seizure of the ship there.
As the American Armada closed its net around Venezuela, numerous vessels laden with hundreds of millions of dollars of oil made a run for it. This is part of the growing problem known as the ghost fleet. The name may seem supernatural.
The moonlight shows us for what we really are.
But it's a very real world involving fake flags, zombie ships, and Nicolas Cage.
You, over the side, we're changing the name.
We'll get to that in a bit. But first, what is the ghost fleet, also known as the dark fleet or shadow fleet? According to the financial intelligence firm S&P Global, as many as 1 in 5 oil tankers worldwide are smuggling oil from sanctioned countries. And this epidemic of illegal ships has consequences for us all.
90% of world trade happens by sea. That means no shipping, no shopping.
Assume that the oceans are wide open, open for trade and commerce. Now, all of a sudden, that may not be as true as in the past.
So how do these ships operate? Let's take the case of the Bella One, which changed its name to the Marinera, a typical ghost ship move. This was the oil tanker that fled from Venezuela, only to be boarded and seized by the U.S. near Iceland. Ian Ralby is a maritime lawyer and president of a company that helps shipping companies navigate emerging threats.
The Bella One is an example of one of many vessels that is now being used to move these sanctioned cargoes, and it is doing so with a variety of techniques and tactics trying to avoid law enforcement and any kind of intervention.
And the Bella One is far from alone. Michelle Bachman works for Windward, a company that surveys and tracks maritime activity.
Over the fourth quarter, we had record levels of deceptive shipping practices such as flag hopping, GPS jamming.
As Iran and Russia in particular look to get around restrictive sanctions, the ghost fleet business has been booming.
Their sole purpose is sanctions evasion and shipping sanctioned oil.
When we talk vessels, we're talking principally about oil tankers then?
Yeah, internationally trading crude oil tankers. There's a cohort of maybe about 1,400 that we keep an eye on.
That's right, 1,400. Now, you might be wondering, how does a rogue oil tanker that's about 300,000 tons hide? So let's take a typical vessel of the ghost fleet. Usually, it's an older ship near the end of its economic life. It likely wouldn't pass inspection or qualify for insurance at home, so instead they stay out at sea and become ghosts. Now, a legally operating vessel can be mainly identified by three ways: the name, the flag it's flying, and the AIS, or Automatic Identification System. That's a transponder that broadcasts information about the ship.
Yeah, there's a whole series of data points that you can broadcast via AIS, so you know where the ship is, the ship's depth in the water, the flag.
But to avoid detection, all of this can be changed.
Some ships have two AISs on board, so they may switch one off and switch another, or alternate and pretend to be somewhere else. You've got zombie ships where they actually take on the identity of a dead ship that was scrapped and can take and start broadcasting a fake number.
Besides changing the AIS or even turning it off completely, ships will also change their flag. And flying the flag of a specific country is a big deal.
When a country allows a vessel to fly its flag, it comes with a lot of responsibility to that flag state. In other words, the state has to be willing to impose its national law on that vessel throughout the entirety of its operations. That is a big responsibility. And so a flag state usually wants to engage in a bit of due diligence before making that decision.
That's if they have a flag at all.
You know, the really rogue ones, they don't even have flags anymore.
And there's one more trick to try: physically changing the ship from the name to more.
Sometimes they will put tarpaulins over the front of the ship so you can't photograph it. Or so if you're looking via satellite, they might paint the deck of the ship a different color.
Which is exactly what happened when the Bella One was fleeing from the Americans. After spoofing the AIS and switching from the flag of Guyana to Russia,
the crew went and repainted the hull of the vessel in order to obscure its previous identity.
How often have you seen that, Ian, repainting a vessel?
So this is a technique we've seen a lot more frequently used by criminals since the release of Nicolas Cage's movie The Lord of War, where famously in the movie we see somebody go over the side of the vessel to repaint the name of the ship and to obscure its identity because it's being pursued by Interpol.
While the effect of Nicolas Cage fandom can't be underestimated, the growing presence of ghost fleets has maritime watchers worried.
They're operating these vessels outside the norms. We're really seeing a potential danger to the environment, to human life.
Sal Mercogliano is a former merchant marine and historian.
The initial shadow fleet existed when U.S. and other countries put sanctions against Iran and Venezuela, but it just went on steroids when Russia invaded Ukraine.
And increasingly, Russia is playing a major role.
Over December and into the first weeks of January, we've tracked 22 vessels that have now gone from false flags, like fraudulent registries that didn't exist, and they've gone to Russia. I've been following the Dark Fleet for 6 years. This is quite unusual and something that we believe may accelerate.
And while Ukraine's President Zelensky is already calling for more enforcement, saying when there is political will, oil flows can be stopped, Roccagliano sees danger ahead, whether it's environmental.
We could potentially see these horrific accidents. Understand, we see accidents all the time with ships that are, following the rules, but we have problems with them. Now these ships are on top of it, operating outside the bounds, hard to identify who their owner is. And again, I think the real big issue here has to do with insurance. A massive oil spill, the likes of Exxon Valdez, would be horrific off the coast of, Canada.
Or the potential for military conflict.
When you engage in a boarding operation of a tanker, particularly a tanker that is known to have deficiencies on its standards of operation, safety, environmental concerns and controls, there are all kinds of things that could go wrong, from injuries to deaths to catastrophic spills. And when you then add in foreign military escorts, you end up with a potentially volatile picture that could bring two states into, or more, into armed conflict with each other out at sea.
Already there have been instances of Russian military involvement, from the submarine that was reportedly escorting the Bella 1 to a Russian fighter jet that appeared when the Estonian Navy intercepted a suspected Ghost Fleet tanker. But Michelle Bachmann isn't worried about escalation. She says we should be thanking the United States.
The US is doing the international maritime community a favor by removing these vessels from trade because of their, highly dangerous condition. They're an accident waiting to happen.
Coming up next, the call for more safety on social media apps after a Manitoba sextortion case involves a child. Stay with us. Weeks of heavy rain have caused devastating flooding in Mozambique and parts of South Africa.
The situation continues to evolve quite rapidly. Rains are still expected to continue for the coming days, and the water dams are already at full capacity, so the situation could worsen, placing further people at risk.
Vast areas of land are underwater, and countless roads and bridges have been flooded or destroyed. Aid workers say more than 70,000 homes have been inundated, and at least 130 people killed since the rainy season began in October.
The weather update is brought to you by the BC Cancer Foundation. The future of cancer care can be your legacy. Fuel innovation and life-saving treatments by leaving a gift in your will today.
We have the fog on the south coast, but Darius Madavi here with the BC-wide weather forecast. You want to start just a bit east of here.
A little bit, yes. Let's start in Atlantic Canada, where we've seen a snowstorm blow through, dropping 20 centimeters of wet, heavy snow, knocking out power for, at the peak, 140,000 people, although that number has come down quite a bit in the time since, about 20 to 30,000 people without power now. But many folks also happy about a snow day. I never remember worrying about the impacts of the snowstorms when I was a kid. I was just looking forward to the snow day. And I saw a number of people feeling that same way. We also have some blizzards happening in Ontario, especially on the shores of Lake Huron, so to the west of, east of Lake Huron, and along the north shore of Lake Ontario, so we're keeping an eye on that as well. They'll get plenty more snow and cold temperatures in the days ahead. And now, a science break, because the Northern Lights are happening tonight across, we've seen some great photos out of Europe, some out of Ontario as well. Now, let's start from the beginning. This sunspot let out a massive solar flare, a Class X X-class solar flare. Yeah, you can see it there. And a coronal mass ejection, so it's a massive charged particles being emitted from the sun and Earth-directed, so heading towards Earth. This was an odd solar flare because not only was it very strong, it also lasted a very long time, and the plasma that it emitted was moving very, very quickly. Usually it takes 3 to 4 days for one of these CMEs to reach Earth, coronal mass ejections, to reach Earth, but in this case, 24 hours, just around 24 hours to reach us, moving very fast. We're talking like 6 million kilometers per second hurtling towards Earth. Now, this is the forecast that we got for where the aurora would be visible around Earth. Unfortunately, things haven't lined up just right. And when I say haven't lined up, I mean that quite literally. Let's actually stay on this for a second. If you imagine the Earth's magnetic field and the coronal mass ejection, the plasma's magnetic field, they're both pointing north right now, which means, you know, opposites attract, but the same repels. If the magnetic field of that plasma flipped, then we'd see it attract, boom, beautiful northern lights visible across BC. So that's what we're hoping for right now, and that's what we're trending towards. This red line, once it crosses the center line, good news. So we're trending in the right direction, but still a ways to go. No clouds really in sight across most of BC, some low-level fog, but if you can get up a couple hundred meters on the south coast, you get above that. Temperatures are dropping across BC, Dan. We got some sunshine coming tomorrow, but lots of valley cloud in the interior as well, and some more fog for the coast. But the weather picture is more or less the same as it has been.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
A disturbing story out of Manitoba to tell you about now. It concerns a child being exploited on social media. The shocking part is just how young this victim is. A warning for you, some people may find parts of this story disturbing. Michelle Allen has more.
A 7-year-old Manitoba girl was sexually exploited on Snapchat while just one room away from her mother. Coerced into sending explicit photos and videos by a stranger. Her mother found pictures of the man's genitals on the phone. A victim that young might be shocking to some, not to Detective Sergeant Mike Olson.
Under 10, it used to be a surprise. Now I would say it's more common.
CBC obtained an RCMP production order requesting the Snapchat account data to try and track down who contacted the girl. Olson wasn't involved in this specific case, but has investigated many like it.
It's probably more just with kids that are spending more time. The more time on these devices, the higher the chance that these kind of things can happen.
Olson recommends supervising children whenever they're online, but he also says companies like Snapchat need to do more to prevent it. The Canadian Centre for Child Protection says it's received over 1,200 reports of children under 13 being lured online. The #1 platform, Snapchat.
They'll often refer to things like Instagram or Snapchat as
a phone book for children, because you can easily just find kids and perhaps send a friend request, or perhaps kind of somehow get into their friend group.
Welcome to Snapchat's Family Center, your go-to hub for tools and resources to help.
Snapchat says users need to be 13 and up. It has some parental controls on teen accounts. Parents can see a week-long history of who their kids are chatting with.
In the same way parents can't see or hear their teens' everyday personal and private communications, parents won't be able to view their teens' conversations or snaps.
It's essentially designed to download responsibility onto the end user and kids inside of these inherently dangerously designed environments, and the platforms somehow absolve themselves of responsibility.
Marcoux says parental supervision can only go so far. He says social media apps make money off people using them, including kids, and won't increase their security willingly. Unless Canada passes laws forcing them to meet safety codes, Marcoux says more Canadian children will be exploited. As for the case of the 7-year-old Manitoba girl, RCMP found the man in the United Kingdom. Now it's up to police there to investigate. Michelle Allen, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The science behind the fog blanketing parts of the South Coast, Johanna Wagstaff will explain after this.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox. On February 11th, CBC's Stephen Quinn moderates the Alumni UBC webinar, Think Well, Live Well, Brain Health for Life. Join the conversation for expert insight into protecting your brain health and vitality. Register at alumni.ubc.ca and never miss a special programming series, event, or contest. Subscribe to CBC's e-newsletter and keep connected with us.
Well, many of us on the South Coast trying to navigate this thick fog that has blanketed our region.
Our Johanna Wagstaff looks at the science behind it and why it is dominating the air.
Fog. It's hard to ignore, hard to escape, and hard to forecast. Here's what's happening in 90 seconds. So most of the time, the sun heats the ground and then heats the air right above it. That air starts to rise, air expands, cools, and sinks back down. It's this constant churning, this vertical motion that keeps the atmosphere moving. But every so often, that whole structure flips. Cold, heavy air settles right against the ground. Meteorologists call this an inversion. You can think of it like an atmospheric lid. And right now that lid is being held down by high pressure, sinking air that traps everything underneath. With nowhere to go, that moisture condenses into tiny droplets, aka a cloud on the ground. It's also why you almost always see fog in the morning. Overnight, without the sun to keep things churning, the ground loses heat, chills the air right above it, and that cold air becomes heavy and just sits there. That's all fog is. The air stuck in the wrong order. And that cold layer is usually very shallow. We're talking 50 to a few hundred meters. So white out at a bus stop, but if you go up a mountain, clear blue skies. Sometimes the most disruptive weather in Canada isn't the loud crashing kind, it's the kind that just settles in and refuses to move.
And now we know, but you knew that already.
Quite the shot.
No kidding.
Out over the... Anyway, thanks for being with us tonight on CBC Vancouver News at 6. You can watch this newscast on CBC Gem, YouTube, and our website, cbc.ca/BC.
And we'll have your next local news at 11 o'clock right after the National. Good night.